So, sterling silver is 92.5% silver. And this is so simple, it's almost, it's mind-boggling. So that means that a sterling silver item is made out of metal that is 92.5% silver and 7.5% something else, whatever. We're not concerned about that. So that is sterling silver. Right? What is silver plate? Silver plate is just like the old car bumpers. It's copper, but the bumpers are steel, but they're plated with chrome. Silver plate is either copper or brass that's electronic. Anyway, use an electronic process to plate it with a thin layer of silver. So that's why it polishes like real silver. So you can't tell by rubbing it like that. It'll come off black, tarnish like real silver. So you have to figure out. So the simplest way is by what it says on it. Very simply. You just have to be able to read. That's 90% of the time. That's all you have to know. It's just how to read a couple of 3 numbers and a couple of words. And with silver plate, the main thing is what it doesn't say. It can say a whole paragraph down there, but if it doesn't have the key word or two, it doesn't matter. And this past weekend, out with a couple of my friends, Ronnie Long and Jack Crawford, Jack's kind of trying to learn this, and it's fun, we're going to the antique shops, and everything he gets, he's looking at, and that's great. And so I kept telling him, he said, what's this? He said, it doesn't matter. It matters what it doesn't say. It says Rogers Brothers International, blah, 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 quadruple, heavy duty, duty. It doesn't matter. It can have a whole paragraph, but if it doesn't have the word sterling, the word sterling, or the numbers, either 0.925 or 925, which is what? 92.5% on it. And we're really commonly see the 925 mark because that's the way it's marked. Lots and lots of the stuff that comes out of Mexico is marked. Now,
is marked with the 925.
I'm sorry?
Which one?
Either one.
No, but what comes out of Mexico?
It can be either way. Mexico, some of it's marked silver, some of it's marked sterling. Mexico, some of it's marked 925. Mexico, I've got some little chains and stuff that they're so small they just have little tiny numbers 925 on there. And Italy marks theirs 925, I think. But once in a while, something will vary from it. There are exceptions to every rule. You can run across, there are some foreign marks that, like the old English mark is a lion passant kind of a thing, but you've got to get the feel. But 90% of the time you're not going to run across those. There's some Swedish, Denmark. But if you get into this thing, and then you'll get the hang of it if you find one, and after a while you get the hang of the look of the silver and the feel of it. I can almost tell by feeling of it when it's not starting. Almost, but a lot of times I can tell with that before I pick it up what it is. Sometimes it's just kind of, it has a look, It is a little bit hard, like this company makes this exact bowl in silver plate. I've done this. I've gone into an antique shop and they have a display, and I've seen two. This is a kind of a common pattern. I've seen two bowls or two dishes exactly the same alike. I turn them over, and one's silver plate and one's marked sterling. And then the incident I'm talking about, she had the whole table full, and they were all marked the same price.
And they
were all marked the same price. The sterling bowl and the plated bowl. So which one do you think I bought?
Yeah, sterling.
I bought the sterling one. I bought all of them. Out of that deal, I picked about 5 or 6 that I didn't buy. It was open game. She's so-and-so's antiques. It was her. It's the cobra and the mongoose. It's not my old pal. That's the way it goes.
Yeah.
I just bought all, I just went through the table, the display, and picked all the starting out and bought. So I got a fraction of what they were. But that's what real estate people, car people, I mean, that's what people do. I mean, she should have known that if I sell a bargain in my antique shop, I should have known. I know I've sold bargains. No one, we're going to get into it. No one's an expert in everything. They don't have it. You know, have you all watched Pawn Stars? Anybody seen Pawn Stars? They always get their buddy, the expert in. You notice they don't call the same guy in on all this. It's always a different. The autograph guy, the gun guy, the document guy. All of those are different experts. If you call the autograph guy in on the guns, he won't know anything about it. And you're beginning to get my drift. So we're looking at sterling. Then occasionally you'll run across in the U.S. coin silver or 900 silver, and very rarely, but if you see something that says 800, that's silver. It's only not as pure, but those are really rare. The coin and the 900, those came about because they used to make a lot of stuff out of the U.S. coins, which were 90% silver. So when you pick up something that says coin silver on it, you know what it is. And most often, that's really old or something. It's a really old perfume bottle or a bracelet or whatever most of the time, because it's either that or it was made later out of silver for coins. And we used to take the silver half dollars made in '64 and before. You could take a spoon and take a half dollar. You could just tap on the edge of it and keep turning it, and it would just slowly make it into a ring. You could make the shape it into a ring. You drill out the middle, and then you could make a ring out of it. But that's how soft it was, and how it was just common. They were everywhere. We used to even play with them like that, because they were just something neat to mess with. So you know right now more than many antique dealers. You know more than the antique dealer that sold me that for $2.50 that has a shop in Birmingham. And when we went back over there, you know which booth I went to first? And there was a piece in there that kind of tricked me. It wasn't marked anything, and it was real heavy. And it looked like silver, but it was too heavy to be silver. It tricked me to this day. I almost bought it. You know, maybe I should have, but it didn't feel exactly right. So you know, you can't always be sure. But most of the time, you're going to run into those marks right there. Sterling, and I want you to look at some of these examples that I've got, because I bought some rings and some chains and some things that if y'all want to look at them, it right goes down. Here's one I bought this one about 2 weeks ago. I'm not real sure what it is. It was a...
Could we buy them from you?
I don't think so. It was $1.99, and it has a mark on it. So y'all look at those and see what you think. Look at these different items. If you're interested in this, I'm telling you that if you get up on Saturday morning and take off and go to some garage sales, I rarely go out to find some stuff. And I don't even seriously do it here. You know how I do it here since we moved down here? I don't know my way around. I just go to Simmons. I just take off and go to some neighborhood. Garage sales down this street, I just go down there and go to those. You know, I don't, like in San Angelo where I used to know every street, I got them and I put all these together that were close, and you know, and I took and I could make about 25 in a half hour or something like that. And you know, I go through them, walk through here, I just need a few minutes in there. You know, I look for the things I'm looking for, and I'm gone. But here, I don't know my way around. I don't know the streets. If I look up an address, I have to look it up or punch it in my mind. And some of them were in one town, like where we live. Some are in St. Marcus, some are in Kyle, some are in Martindale. You know, and so I just pick a direction, and I'll just take off on a Saturday morning and follow the garage sale signs. Sometimes over there by Karen and them, there's a neighborhood garage sales, and you can get 40 of them in just a few minutes. And sometimes, once in a while, I'll come back, but I usually find other things. But I'm telling you, most of the time, I find sterling silver items. And yet there are ads on the radio every day and TV all the time, wanting people wanting to buy silver. I bought, it's been November. I think I was telling one of you guys, I got up one morning, I was going to Lowe's. I wasn't even going to run sale. I was going to Lowe's, went towards San Marcos, and I saw an estate sale sign. I just couldn't pass it up. I turned around, went back in. It was at a big old metal building complex. It used to be a manufacturing type deal. The gentleman had passed away and they were having an estate sale. It was like 10:30 in the morning, 10 o'clock. I'm just walking around, looking around. I bought a couple of really neat collectible items, and I go and there's this kind of a wire holder thing with probably 100 knives, forks, and spoons stuck in it. All stuck, up and down. So I walk up to it, and I pick around in it and look, and I pick out one, and it says that magic word, sterling. So I pick around, and the lady's over there, and trying to make a scene. I said, "Ma'am, how much is your silverware?" She says, "Well, I want $45 for all of it. There are some real pieces of silver in there." She knows. I said, "Okay." I said, "How much?" She said, $45 for all of it. I said, "Well, straightforward." I said, "Those are probably the things I'm interested in." So I pick around until I see about $60 worth for sure, and I just bought it. I got it home, and there were 20 pieces. 20 pieces of sterling silver. And this is one of the knives right here. It was Gorham sterling. I looked up the pattern, but and the reason this was out is that I'd been through it and got them all out, and I was fixing to take the other junk out, and I missed this one. I found it on the second go around, and 20 pieces of sterling. Some of them are big, heavy forks. It'll weigh a couple ounces. So I think there's about $300 worth of melt in that place. And that's, I don't know, I don't understand. And she knew. She knew that there was some good silver in there. I don't know. But that's just an example. So I don't know. I don't know if you like that kind of thing and you want to go to garage sale, go for it.
Do you find, counterfeit marks at all?
Find what?
Counterfeit marks, like plate that's marked silver or sterling?
No, the only every now and then if you fast forward to today, they're making some, since silver's gotten so high, they're making, I've run across some chains and stuff that were not silver. They're coming out of Taiwan or China or somewhere. But anytime you out looking at the older stuff, very, very seldom have I ever been there. Because silver was so cheap for so long. Now I think that a person would do really well to buy sterling jewelry, because I don't think there's going to be any of it. And I was telling you about the silver coins, how they were all silver, and then they gradually went away. As the people caught on that they were, well, in 65, 67, 68, you could still find silver coins. But by the time you got into the 70s, they went away. Now, I can't remember the last time I found a silver coin in my pocket in circulation. And I think that's what's going to happen. I've had some of the jewelry dealers, the ladies that deal in jewelry, saying that they're just quitting buying, that they're not buying any more sterling jewelry. It's too high. So now the companies are making silver-looking stuff. It's real pretty, but it's not silver. I don't know what it is, some kind of silver-like stuff. So I think that in a short time there won't be any silver jewelry much unless you pay a good price for it. Because now it's getting expensive for them to buy, and therefore they don't want to put their money in it. So you've got a pretty good idea from what I'm saying, but that's how simple it is. So I wouldn't be too worried about the foreign marks. I ran across something here a while back, not too long ago, that was made in Peru. I believe it had a kind of a goofy look mark on it. But again, if you're in an antique store and this is $199, well, you probably wouldn't want to buy it, you know. But if you're at a garage sale, it's $20 or something. And I don't mind telling you, I bought this at an auction where there were, I don't want to exaggerate, maybe 35 people in attendance. The thing had been on display for a week. And so I swung by, and I got the bid. You know what I bought for? $26.
Wow.
$26. And I was just, you know, nobody knew, or nobody there knew.
How much is it weigh?
About 10 ounces.
Wow.
So we'll wait and see when we get there. I was going to show y'all how to weigh it and how to mess with it. Okay, the things to ignore are all the other marks. Everything else, just ignore it. German silver is worthless. Nickel silver, HGEP stands for heavy gold electric plate. But some of it is just H. Anyway, other for silver. And then it'll say quadruple plate, triple plate, super quadruple, all kinds of plate. There's all kinds of plate. And alpaca, there are people to this day that think alpaca is sterling. It's not. It's nickel silver. It's made. Alpaca is Mexico's word for nickel silver. And it's worthless unless it's, I mean, you know, if it's a salt and pepper shaker combo or something that's pretty, it's neat, but it's not silver. So, and that's the confusion. Then the word plata, you know what plata means in Spanish?
Silver.
Silver. So a lot of people don't remember plata versus alpaca. And you can look on eBay sometimes in some of their ads and they don't know. And that's a whole other world is eBay. Allison knows about eBay. But this is really, 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 really simple. It's almost too simple to be believable, isn't it? And,